What's good, everybody? This your boy D Money, hitting y'all with a new episode of A Lot of Fashion podcast. We got a good topic that we're going to actually get into this week, and I'm primarily going to be talking about becoming the top, at least one of the top designers in the game of all time. I know a lot of people might ask, Derek, D Money, where do you actually have the experience to talk about something like this? But personally, it's not about my experience, it's about the facts that are, set there in stone by the greatest designers that, have lived. I mean, in modern day era, we've had, Virgil Abloh, who has worked for, Louis Vuitton, had his own brand of off-white, had his, own history of, design and architecture and, how he built his, self up in the game, and had a great story, built, great product line. He even had his own way recreating, things that were already created and making them his own. That's something that, people try to do each and every day, which is, pretty much a carbon copy. But as you can see, some things you just can't copy. What we're going to get into primarily is, the top 5 of all time that I feel, and then, things that you need as fashion designers in order to become, those great individuals. Now, first and foremost, as far as Dream is the ruler, the brand, we have some new things that we have released. We have, our NFTs that we have, our Build a Throne NFTs, the Battle Royale Part 1 and 2 NFTs that are available on OpenSea. Please go check those out. They're top notch. We want to give you guys the experience of the brand. Each NFT comes with a piece of the artwork. Some NFTs come with clothing from the brand and its collection, depending on which one that you're actually quick enough to buy. But it's quality artwork, quality designs, and craftsmanship behind both. So please go check those out. We also have our brand apparel that is released out. We've been releasing them for the past few weeks, for the past couple of months, since August. So definitely go check those out. We have youth apparel, men and women apparel, unisex apparel. So go definitely check it out. It's top notch craftsmanship. So I appreciate y'all for definitely supporting those that have already. And for those that haven't, definitely tap in. We got some drip for you. We also have new Drip Talk episodes. We're going to have some more unpackaged episodes, and we're planning a pop-up in the beginning of November, first week, if not November 6th, so definitely tap in. We'll have more on the address. Definitely go check our social media, TikTok, LinkedIn, or Instagram or Facebook, or check us out on YouTube. Appreciate everyone that keeps visualizing their purpose and tapping in with us in order to get those gems. Now, as far as becoming the top designer in the world, we're going to get into that now. The list of top 5 that I've come up with for me, sadly, I don't have any, black designers on this top 5 list, but hopefully, I'll be there soon, or hopefully somebody else that is grinding. I definitely like, the World and Vision brand. I love what they're doing. I like, to support black colleges. I believe his name is Justin P. Definitely go check those guys out. They definitely have, some definite lit brands for, streetwear, street fashion, activewear, and actually supporting the black community. So definitely go check those out. Even Milan de Rouge, yeah, that brand's lit too. Black owner as well. She's lit. Very cultured and very well designed and crafted products. So definitely go check those guys out. But my top 5, I would say, is Coco Chanel, Saint Laurent, Christian Dior, the Versace family as a whole, and Da Vinci. Now, with Coco Chanel, she changed the game in the early 1900s with her designs for more sportier and liberating clothes for women. She was more focused on fashion design as far as in the women's sector, and she definitely popularized the little black dress, the skirt suit sets, and of course, the iconic Chanel No. 5. Now you got Saint Laurent, where he defined high fashion for the 20th century. First, he started out with Christian Dior when he was at the age of 21. I believe right after Christian Dior had passed away, they had selected a new designer to take up the brand and take on the story. But people really couldn't get with his designs at first, similar to how we are at Dreams of Rulers. Some people feel it, some people don't, but it's just a matter of we have our own wave and people finally understand it. When people finally understood, Saint Laurent was when he started his own brand. They understood that it was his own story. It couldn't be something that was put onto somebody else's wave. So once he got his own brand, people were able to actually see his edgy styles. He was able to get that recognition that he deserved, and he was able to blend the fusion between elegant and comfortable and popularizing, jackets for women. Now we got, Christian Dior. Many say few designers dominated the fashion industry as he did after the World War II, time period. He had creations featured as a, lower hemline on dresses, small shoulders, and full skirts. A contrast to the patterned shoulders and shorter skirts look from, years past. Dior is credited with restoring French clothes to the exalt status that they enjoyed before the war. Then you have the Versace family, which is beautiful because the way that they were able to, start off from the visionary, Gianni, all the way bringing it down to his sister, and just bringing family parts into it. It's crazy because with Gianni's bold designs, colorful designs, the frank necklines, and large prints that Versace always has, and completely destroys the game with. He started out in the 80s, early 80s. He wasn't afraid, Gianni, to do the things and go against the norms that were during that time, which was pretty much simple prints, simple coloring, not going with too many colors in a collection. So that's why he became famous, because he did something totally different, and the family was able to pattern that vision from then to now. So that's why they're so great, because they stick to the vision. They don't change from the vision. Then you got Da Vinci, who many had said that he looked for inspiration in unusual places. The design of stores and establishments, the decorations of couture shows, all those things were put into his clothes. He looked for unusual things to create the different products that he put out. You got to look for your own wave. That's number one, and having your own style, your own establishment, your own I guess you could say niche in the things that people are looking for when they're buying your clothes and your products that you're selling on a consistent basis. When you have, your own wave, you're maintaining core values. These forms the fundamental beliefs of your brand. They guide the fulfillment of your business goals. They shape and reflect how people view your company. Core values ultimately help you grow, sustain your business by highlighting the worth of your brand to your customers, shaping their perception of your brand. This is the most important thing, because see, a lot of brands, what they do is they think it's just simple of just taking some clip art, putting it together on a CAD, and then putting it on a t-shirt or a pair of pants and thinking you're changing the game. No, you're just making money, which is cool if you want to just make money, because if you're making some cool designs and people like it and it's positive, it doesn't have any negative backlash towards different communities and people's way of life and lifestyles, then it makes sense. But at the same time, if you sitting there saying that you're the best at something, you don't want to be copying somebody or doing the norm. What you want to do is you want to have your own way. This takes a lot of creativity, which is number 2. Creativity is having an eye to make everything better. Have an eye for fit on the body. Have an eye for talent of color and style, all put together in a product. Even when you're a creative director, you have to have an eye of skill and talent of people. being able to mesh the right combinations of skill and talent, so that way the best product comes out to the customer. So that way the brand's core values are set within each product. When you're a fashion designer coming up, it's most important that you have that drive. The drive is a display of stamina and determination. It's going to help you maintain the consistency that you need in order to show people your pure talents. Because if you're not consistently showing them what you can offer to the world on a day-to-day basis, through social media, through pop-ups, through lives, through just any way that you can be digitally or physically face-to-face with the customer, and have products that can physically or digitally be face-to-face with the customer, or both, then you're never going to get out there. And if you don't have that drive behind it, you're never going to have the actual stamina to make the business live for a very long time. So with you having attention to detail, which is also important when it comes to fabrics, textiles, aesthetics, lines, time management, styling, etc. Like, when you have attention to detail, that helps that drive. Because with your attention to detail, you're going to make sure that everything that's going wrong with your business gets stronger, has that duration to grow, to scale, to help you get the right help, the right skills, the right talent into the place that you need in order to make that business flourish. If you don't have attention to detail, you'll never make any of those things happen. That's why attention to detail is so important. Because when your business is starting out, it's going to have many problems. You're going to have to fix a lot of things very fast. And if you don't have that attention to be like, okay, be rational with yourself in moments of trying times where you're like, I'm not making any money and I got to figure out what's going wrong with my business. You don't have the rationale to be like, okay, well, these things I'm doing right and these things I'm doing wrong. And finding the time to do the research in order to make sure what you're saying to yourself is right and wrong. And you'll never make sure that the fabrics are on point, make sure the textiles and aesthetics and lining and timing of things are on point, making sure that the styling when you're marketing things are on point, then it will never happen. These come with good leadership skills, problem solving, multitasking, detaching emotions, communication skills. These things are all important. If you don't have any of those things going on for yourself, you'll never make a successful business, let alone make it to be able to say that you are a top fashion designer. I know these things for myself because I started to do the research back in 2012, 2013, going into 14. It was almost a 2-year process for me. One year was rehabbing. Going into the second year, I spent that whole year at the library, just constantly reading books, going on the internet, going on Google, Wikipedia, just finding information about fashion, the greats, how to do fine fabrics, how to do different textiles, how to how do I learn how to sew? How do I find places how to sew? How do I actually create different textiles for myself? How do I make money as a fashion designer independently? How do I do different things as an entrepreneur? Who are the best at being fashion designers? Who's making the most money in the fashion design world industry? You got to think about these things when you're first starting out. I'm pretty sure some just think about, oh, I want to make clothes for myself and I just want to put my designs on clothes. It's not that simple. It looks that simple, but it's never that simple. And these are things that you have to constantly think about, because if you don't think about them, like I said in the midst of this podcast, you're gonna break down. So I just hope that you constantly think about the things that are most important for you, as far as making sure that your brand lives a very long time, number one. Number two, so that way you can consider yourself to be the best. Because you can't say that you're the best without actions behind it. When you're constantly putting in the work, when you're constantly promoting your brand, when you're constantly, correcting your designs, improving your designs on each and every drop, then you're showing people like, oh yeah, he's He's somebody I can, trust as, a brand that I want to be a part of, something that I want to be a part of, something that, represents me. Think about that. I hope y'all continue to visualize y'all purpose. If y'all want to get on, the A Lot of Compassion podcast, definitely make sure that, you check us out. You get, a definite brand assessment if you guys, definitely want to be on the podcast as well. Just DM us. Also, you can email us at dreamsofrulers@gmail.com, and pricing would, be in the messenger. So just hit us up. We'll get it done, and we'll also come to you. Also, like I said in the beginning of this podcast, we have our brand apparel out right now, so definitely go check that out. We have our Build a Throne collection out right now, and we also have the Build a Throne NFTs along with other NFTs. So definitely check those out, so that way you can get the full experience of Dreams of Rulers street fashion. Appreciate y'all. Keep visualizing your purpose, plan, execute, and strategize, and everything will come to you. Live like royalty. I'm out.